Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iRacing Formula 3.5 Challenge here at Road America. I'm Austin. I am joined by Avery McDonald with Marco Barbonera in the production booth. It says Sammy right there, but I think you just realized that. It does say it's Marco. Avery, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic. We're at a really good racetrack. I know you're a huge fan of Road America, but it's a little different track than we normally see in the 3.5 series. But I'm just excited for another round.
Yeah, another round of this great championship, and I can tell you, I've got a few laps here earlier on, and it's going to be a little bit of a fight between the medium downforce cars and the high downforce cars. The medium downforce going to give a lot of pace in this opening part of the laps. You got this massive long straights, and then the high downforce at the end of the track going to gain all that position back, and they can, the braking points at the high downforce cars are going to be absolutely ridiculous compared to the medium downforce cars. So I know Edward Samborski, he's a medium downforce runner, but Suelo and a few of the other guys are running the high downforce, so it's going to be very interesting to see on what these guys are running.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be able to see those downforce settings with the. We look back at the wing, and I tell you what, that camera we put there is really exciting. The one thing I do see from our live timing and scoring is no Tim Delisle.
Yeah, oh, Tim is not here today, which is very unfortunate.
It's going to give an opportunity for somebody else to get the win. He's pretty much dominated every race he's been in, but not tonight. Tonight's another chance for another driver to get their win here on Apex Racing TV. It's good to see Greg Olson back in here. Austin, really a talented driver. Was in the series for the first couple races. Then they made a nice little change to the car. Did a great update. Really, the drivers are really liking this so far. We have DeCarmo, who was very quick a couple weeks ago. He's sitting in first place, but only 3 drivers, now 4. Olson up to the front.
Yeah, glad to have him back, and Greg Olson sitting up at the top of the timing sheets at a 148.62.
Yeah, Olson really quick. Usually had a big mishap last week, so we're going to see if if he, hopefully, unfortunately, that incident last week at Monza. But we're back here at a beautiful racetrack of Road America, one of my favorite tracks. It's just a real fun track, just a fantastic track.
Yeah. But here we are this week, Road America, a lot different. Sorry for being a little bit quiet. Had to settle something outside of commentary. My graphics were being a little bit weird, but as we're riding up board, oh no! Around goes Donovan Gattemeyer. Out in Canada corner. You're going to be seeing a lot of people spin out right there. A massive incident zone, especially on lap 1. You got cold tires, and you just run it out wide into the gravel you go, and oh my goodness, flip it up and down and all around, upside down and inside out, all over. That was Christian Otarola.
I think you got that right.
Huh?
A lot of good drivers here today in the field. Another round of Formula 3.5 at Road America. Just a lot longer track than we usually see. But Ricardo right now on the provisional pole.
And Tim Delisle, he's not going to be here, as we saw Ricardo Orozco spin out at Canada corner once more. That corner is just going to be absolutely crucial. But Tim's not going to be here this race because, unfortunately, he's feeling a little bit under the weather, so he couldn't race. And Tim, we hope you do better, and we hope you feel better soon, and hopefully you get to be back here next week. So we're looking at Dominic Gademeier. He had an incident Canada corner. He's one of those medium downforce runners, so the top speed game is what he's going for and try to sneak in that pole position. But once again, off a Canada corner, runs wide, and that's an off track.
Yeah, you have to be very cautious of your corner exits here. Get that off track. That's gonna cancel your lap time.
Oh, what a save by Flavio Saturino. Oh, no, I've cursed him. I am sorry. He avoided the wall, but he's going to teleport back into the pit lane after, well, it was a good save, but those tires, when they got hot, they just lose all their grits. But qualifying is over here at Road America, and I think it's time to run us through our grid. Starting up on pole, Ricardo Orozco, followed by Greg Olson, Fabio Ducarmo, Suelo Almeida, Paul Ilbry, Edward Samborski, Emil Bernstov, Daniel Bernchen, Christoph Mons, Dominic Gademeier, Omar Baja, James J. Pinkster in 12th, followed by Jorge Lopez, Phil Reed, Robert Tarleton, Theodore Burns, John McHutchison, Dan Yang, Cedric Bill, Simone Pizzica, Christian Ortarola, Flavio Saturino, and Oskari Rinne in 23rd in this 23 car race here at Road America. And the start here, as always, at Road America, it's going to be very crucial, especially in the midfield, because there's not a lot of room to maneuver around other cars who may get a bad start. So launch control, hopefully everyone has that on, and if they don't, it's going to be very interesting. And I can tell you, if somebody has a bad start, it could cause a massive issue, like when I pitchforked somebody yesterday. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a real tight racetrack right in the entrance of the corner, entrance into turn one. So you have to be very cautious that you are not A, gonna run somebody over, and B, junk the field.
And as we were looking at the cars on the grid, a few drivers sticking with that medium downforce. Suelo is going for that medium downforce. So I kind of feel betrayed for him because he gave me a setup that was on a high downforce, and I've been running the wrong setup this entire week. Thanks, Suelo. But he's going to try to get the lead in this opening lap and try to jump ahead of Ricardo. As the red lights are coming on, the reds are rising because we're going racing here at Road America for the iRacing Formula 3.5 Challenge. And it's a great start for Ricardo up at front. Suelo in that bright pink car just held down onto the outside of the track, fanning out into turn one. They go. Ricardo leads it out, followed by Greg Olson, Fabio, and Suelo. And oh my goodness, James J. Pinkster gets flipped over, and he's in the catch fence.
Oh, JJP. Not good for Pinkster.
Oh, massive names in there. Christian Ortarola, Jorge Lopez Esposito involved, Robert Tarleton, Cedric Bill, John McHutchison was also in there. As they race down into turns 3, cars fanning out, more contact in the back. And that's Daniel Bernson. Fabio's also off.
Wow, Austin, I mean, this is just carnage from the beginning at this 20-lap main event. And I tell you what, there's a lot of sorries in the chat, but in the in-race chat, but man, that was some carnage.
I really didn't see what happened at the very first start as we were watching Phil Reed get very loose. Here is a replay at the start. James J. Pincer in that black matte car got absolutely pitchforked out from behind. So, oh, we got into the grass and then netcode happened. And then absolutely carnage happened. Simone Pizzica actually was not involved in any car contact. He just went deep on the brakes. And, oh no, now Suelo's in the wall in Canada corner. The medium downforce. He was going for the speed, but unfortunately, he didn't account for the braking zone and went deep, and he's got damage on that car.
A lot of the heavy hitters out so far, but
well, this can get very weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, this is a meal. Got a very tricky re-entry, but let's ride on board with Suelo. And you can see the positive sim racing 1-2, and Suelo just very late on the brakes, a little bit too much, very loose, and into the wall it goes. Not enough tire heat to help that medium downforce car, so he's already got damage. This race is already on its head, and we've had 10 cars in the pits.
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of drivers in the pits, and you know you did say earlier that we had to be cautious on the start, and then or else carnage, and we had a lot of carnage.
Yeah, this battle for fourth is absolutely carnage, and oh, Samborski and Mons get into each other. Oh, Samborski rejoins the track right ahead. Was that Dan? That was Dan, who unfortunately was caught up in front of there. And oh no, you hate to see it, and nowhere for Dan to go. Samborski just didn't keep the car stopped right there. He was either going to be stopped in the racing line or just stopped moving across the track. So he was unfortunately just got onto the inside, really pushed Mons wide, and he just floored it straight into Dan, which usually is the other way around, but hey, always happens.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these cars got to fly, and that happened last week, and that happened this week.
And Daniel having another issue in Canada corner. Went off right there. No big issue. And I think Canada corner is going to be a bigger issue as we got a car stopped at Oscari Rennie. Stopped on the inside of Canada corner. We're going to see a spinneroonie. Yes, we are. I think it just brushed the wall, though.
Yeah. You got to be so careful with these cars with the bumps. And then, obviously, you don't want to brush the wall, but just a very awkward start of a F3.5 race. We usually don't have this much carnage, Austin.
Yeah, I feel... Oh! Oscari, not the only incident I was involved in. He was also involved at the start. Is that I'm trying to figure out what car that was that hit him. Here's Robert Tarleton coming up to Canada corner. Are we going to see going off into the gravel? Yes, he is. And oh, into the wall. And he's wedged in there, so that's going to be a tow to the pits. Back up to live pictures, I believe. Theodore Burns looking around the outside of Mons. Duke Carmo is behind them as well. So they go around the carousel and heading into the back straight. And look at the run that Burns and DeCarmo have. Mons looking down to the outside, trying to defend that inside line, heading into Canada corner, side by side they go. Theodore Burns takes 6th place, and hard onto the brakes goes Mons, looking down to the inside. He rides up onto the curve, gets a little bit squirrely out there, but Burns keeps 6th place. Mons defends 7th, and DeCarmo sitting back there in 8th. They also have Bernstoff and Pizzica, making this a 5-car fight for 6th.
Yeah, Mons, your biggest mover of the race, up 15 spots, battling there with Burns. And Omar Baja up there with right in front of them, positive 12. But man, what a battle we have here for 6th.
Now Fabio watching this fight. They're going side by side down the front straight, and it's impossible to go 3 wide down here in these cars. Sure, you can stretch the limits and maybe go for it, but it is not going to end up pretty for anyone And Fabio is getting all these great runs, but unfortunately can't make up any ground as we're riding on board with Theodore Burns. He's got DRS wide open to defend from Mons, as Mons getting a great run. Mons looking down to the outside. Theodore looking down to the inside. Side by side they go. Burns, goes wide, and Fabio with the opportunistic down the inside, but unfortunately not the speed up off the exit. Mons keeps 7th.
You got to be very careful with this 5-car train. You make a very aggressive move like that, you could fall all the way back to the end of the train.
Now, you do not want to fall to the back of this train because track position is key here at Road America. You don't want to be stuck behind some of these dirty air, especially as they're going through some of these fast corners, especially the carousel and the kink.
Oh, the kink that's a fun part of this track.
It's fun. In these higher downforce cars, you're just like, oh, that's a corner. In a lower downforce car, it's a bit sketchy. I can tell you, whenever Skippies came here, it never ended well. Burns, very nice corner, but Mons got into the gravel. And DeCarmo, a little bit of touchdown to the inside. And Fabio is looking a little bit squirrely. He's looking for that move on Mons. He's feeling that Mons is having a little bit of trouble keeping that car on the track. DRS is open for Fabio, and Mons looking around the outside ahead of Theodore Burns. But here comes Fabio, and Fabio's got to get off the accelerator, and almost into the back of Mons he goes. Theodore Burns holding down that inside line. Fabio looking around to the outside. They're wheel to wheel. Fabio getting onto the rumble strips right there. And Fabio and Burns still side by side heading into turns 2, but Fabio goes a little bit deep into the brakes, and now here comes Burns stuff now on Fabio, but Mons running away with 6 right now from just those 2 corners.
Yeah, I tell you what, DeCarmo, when he sees an opportunity, he's going to take it.
And Fabio getting wheel to wheel with Burns and giving it a little bit of shove. But he's down to the inside. He's going to jump up into 7th. And now here comes Burns on the bumper on really the gearbox of Fabio.
Yeah, gearbox, Austin. This ain't got no bumper. What a great race though for the sticks, you know.
They're driving it like they're racing them like they're bumper cars, honestly. This first lap has just been absolutely chaotic. And we're on lap number 5. We're still talking about these opening laps.
Yeah, man, this has been fun, Austin. I mean, a lot of carnage, but at the end of the day, it's still been a really fun race. You get this with these cars, sometimes the races are a little, can get kind of, I would say, I wouldn't go boring, but usually a little bit of carnage, but it's always battling throughout the field.
Yeah, there's battles throughout the field, and this is a very interesting battle. This is the high downforce versus medium downforce. Gadamer up in 4th in that medium downforce cars, and I gotta say, that mint car just looking absolutely in mint condition.
Wow, it's pretty easy pun there for you, bud.
I know,
but
I have to make it easy, and also a very easy move. Burns off down to the inside. Now here comes Burns looking for that switchback move. Side by side heading into turns 2. Burns off down to the inside. Theodore Burns looking around for that switchback move. Nothing really going to happen right there, but it is going to be a draft race into turn 3, and I expect Burns to have oh my goodness, what has just happened behind them?
Yeah.
Flavio.
It's Flavio.
Oh, no, he went into the wall. This is coming into turn 2. Technically, that is turn 2. This is turn 3. Ooh, he tried to avoid an car contact, and as he did that, upset the balance of the car. Oh, that was just being safe, but unfortunately, it just bit him right there. Because the Formula 3.5 car, you gotta balance it like it's a pin needle on your finger.
Yeah, I've driven this car a couple times, and I am very proudly to say I will probably finish last in the bottom split. But that's why I'm in the booth and not behind the wheel.
And also, I just got back from a 2-month hiatus from driving, and I finished 5th in my first race. Sure, I killed somebody, but we don't talk about that.
You just did. But I tell you what, this battle for 6th is just been phenomenal, Austin. I'm just so happy to have this great battle. Otherwise, you know, they don't get their TV time like they want. But
You know what? We talk about battles in the midfield, but there's a battle that we never really talk about. It's the battle for the lead, because usually Carr in the lead, he's here, but unfortunately he's not here this week. And now the battle for the lead is with 2 of his teammates, and they're going at it.
yeah, really good battle for the lead. I mean, it's just really awesome to see that. You know, there is a battle for the lead. Nothing against you, Tim. We're a big fan of you, but it's cool to see a battle for the lead.
Ricardo getting into the grass, kicking up some dirt. Let's go back to that ding-dong battle for 6. Fabio down to the inside and jumps up into 6th place. The Theodore Burns looking for a move back into 8th. And, ooh, switchback, cross the nose move. And Burns around the outside, and he's off-road rallying. And unfortunately drops down to 10th place. Tried around the outside move of Burnstoff, and Burnstoff just didn't give him any room right there. Let's go for the replay. Burnstoff set up for the outside line, and then the switchback by Theodore right there. And Theodore got a great run. Burnstoff wasn't expecting him, and fortunately, Theodore had to go off into the grass.
Yeah, just an unfortunate instance for Theodore, but you know, we're still racing.
And the race races on. We're back up front with Ricardo and Greg. And they aren't even in each other's drafts right now. This is a strategy move. They don't want to fight each other until they have to. And Theodore Burns is looking wild. Looking off track, then on track. But down to the inside. And we got a report of cars blocking each other to defend a position. And, oh, we got an incident. Ooh, this is Monza Ducarmo. And Pizzica and Burnstoff and Burns. And Burns all over, but Burnstoff blocks Burns right there. And now Burns looking around to the outside. Burnstoff down to the inside. And Burnstoff gets into Burns again, forcing him wide. And Burns is not happy.
Yeah, definitely. The tempers are flaring here in Road America. And we're only on lap 8 of 20, so a lot of time for the tempers to keep flaring.
Yeah, Theodore Burns down to the inside, jumps up into 9th place. Very easy overtake. The straights are just where you need to overtake on this track. You can do some overtakes onto the corner, but it's just so risky sometimes that you don't want to put you and the other driver at risk.
Yeah, you know, you have to be on that razor's edge of, you know, being as fast as you can be, or, you know, or making that mistake. You got to find that fine line.
We're running on board with Ricardo as this 1-2 battle between Ricardo and Greg Olson as we race here today at 29 degrees in the air, and the track temp is a very cool 32 degrees Celsius. And the humidity is at 64%, and we got a dew point of 990, so this car's a little bit zippier today. And that is your weather report for August 15th here in Michigan. Oh, wait.
August
Wisconsin.
15th. That's my sister's birthday.
That's today.
I know. I already told her happy birthday.
Happy birthday to your sister.
Yesterday.
And Mark, our producer, is screaming he's from the future, so this is yesterday for him. But hey, we're in America, so this is America time. This is Suelo. Saw him get loose. He's back in the car. Oh, you're going to see him get very unstable in the brakes. That front nose gave a bit of a wiggle as he went into the brakes, and off he went as they're heading into the carousel. And
Yeah,
that gamble to go onto the medium downforce is certainly biting him in the butt, but he does have the fastest lap of the race by 0.05 of a second.
Yeah, that was after the incident, Austin. So, I mean, the car should be fine. Wow, what a move by Burns.
Ooh. Theodore trying some moves on Pizzica. Pizzica's got... There's not a lot of retail to work with out there on track right now. So you gotta make your claim on which lane you're going for on this track, as Burns looking down to that inside and getting a bunch of arrow wash right now, making him fall back as they race around the carousel and down into the kink they go, racing into Canada Corner. And I was Theodore Burns. You're licking your lips because he can go down to the inside and make a very nice charge. That's what he's going to do right now. Theodore Burns looking down to the inside. Burns down there and done. Pizzica with the switchback though, and what a move by Simone Pizzica.
Wow, I mean, I don't like to use it, but what a power move by, Pizzica. That just kind of left the door was open a little bit, and then switched back and got back in front of Burns. And this is halfway through, Austin. We still got halfway to go.
Pizzica saw Burns coming. He wanted down that inside line, but he had to wiggle out to the front, to the outside. Here comes Burns once more, down to the inside. They're so close to each other. Into the brake zone they go. Pizzica swing around the outside once again into turn one. Is there a car off?
Oh.
There was a car off. That's Mons.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they almost had a three-way crash there.
No, Burns is around. He got to the curb, onto the inside of turn 3, and oh, no, I don't want to see that. Oh,
There was
Theodore Burns, moment after moment, just got up onto the curb and around the car goes. The car's easier to drive now, but still, when it starts pointing a little bit, it gets upset. Here's Christoph Mons. And I saw the tire tracks and smoke. I'm not sure what's happened here. And oh, he just got loose in the braking zone. Turning in there and
contact.
ooh. Did he hit the wall? I don't think he hit the wall.
Look.
He may have grazed it.
We'll see if there's a little contact with DeCarmo.
No, there wasn't any contact with him. He just got loose on the turn in.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll just gotta keep it going.
oh, there was
keep on
contact.
keeping on.
Small left rear contact. So we'll see if he has damage. Back up front with Ricardo and Greg. The gap between them, 4/10. And Greg is staying out of the drats, but what a time he just put in. He dropped half a second back, and he regained all that with a 1:49.87.
What a burner of a time. That was really, I mean, he had a lot of help with the toe from Ricardo, but still, to put down that lap, the two positive sim racing drivers.
I don't want to correct you right there, but he's avoiding the toe with Ricardo.
Oh, he was? Well,
yeah. If you've been watching him, he's never actually always in the toe. So he doesn't want to be in the toe.
I like to be in the toe personally because it makes me feel faster.
And Greg Olson's already fast, but I feel like he wants to just stay behind there and wait for that opportunity and catch Ricardo off guard as Simone Pizzica and Mons continue their race for 7th. And Mons, no damage on his car that I could see. He's driving it just fine.
Yeah, I had that little mishap going into turn 1 with DeCarmo, but back at it, sitting in 8th, going to try to get up to 7th, right on the kind of almost to the gearbox of Pizzica, who's been running really strong the last couple weeks.
So we're running on board with Emil Bernsoff, and Emil sitting up there in 9th. Unfortunately, not where he qualified. Has been involved in a few incidents, and I'm pretty sure the start of this race is we're halfway through it, and whoa, they're weaving all over the track right now as my voice does something incredibly weird. Halfway through the race, I'm already losing my voice. I can tell you, this race has been absolutely wild.
Yeah, it is absolutely wild. That, like you did say, oh, that was
Pizzica, no!
Oh, I winced a little bit on that one.
Oh, you hate to see it. I'm using your lines right now, but Emil was all innocent in that one. Pizzica lock up, heading into Canada Corner, got into the gravel, saved it, had to get off the throttle. Here comes Emil down to the inside, and oh no!
Oh, you hate to see it. You really
do. You just no. The worst part was I was taking a sip of chocolate milk at that time, not expecting anything to happen. Oh no.
That car's That car's junked.
Just look at the steering angle. He's turned, I don't know, about 37 degrees right to go straight.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be like that.
That just sucks for Emil right there.
Yeah.
It's just been downhill all this entire race. But hey, Road America, it's just another different type of racetrack compared to all the other ones. It's very narrow, very hard to get a lap off cleanly, and very hard to get a good race out of it before, especially for pack racing. And we've seen pack races here get absolutely nutty.
Yeah, if he doesn't get back out on the track, that's 7 cars so far out of the race. That's quite a bit for just being out just over halfway through.
And the one thing about Road America that makes it absolutely crazy is the amount of grass runoff. Grass is very tricky to have as a runoff because any small mistake, you're off.
Yeah, you have to be so careful.
Yeah, and that's going to make this race and the next race absolutely crucial. And the race after that. Phillip Island and Watkins Glen are coming up. Now, Watkins Glen, really, I wouldn't say has grass runoff as a threat, but it's the wall.
Yeah, you have to be. There's the wall, and I've hit it plenty of times. Watkins Glen, another great track. Phillip Island, great track. We've had a lot of great tracks on this schedule. So it's great to see a little different style of tracks. You know, not every track is, you know, gives us the same type of racing or gives the drivers a lot of, you know, different strong points. You've seen some drivers do better at the technical tracks. You see some drivers do better at these tracks with the longer toe with this 4.7K SOF. Very strong SOF.
Extremely strong.
Looking at Pizzica right now. Austin's voice is pretty much gone. Trying to catch up to Montz, who had that off a couple laps ago. Pizzica just trying to wait. Trying to buy his time to get this next position for 7th. Kind of fell back through the carousel. Going to go on to the long straightaway, go through the kink and try to stay in the toe. And try to pull back in. And we are in the DRS zone. Drivers are limited to... there's no unlimited DRS, which is great because then a lot of drivers are going to use a strategy to when to use it and when to save.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
I punched my throat. I thought it would work.
Quick time, Greg Olson. You sound a lot better, Austin.
Yeah, I know. I should punch myself in the throat more.
We'll give about 5 minutes.
Give it about 5 minutes.
On board with Olson, trying to catch up to Ricardo. Was about 1.2 seconds back, not that long ago, but now he's about a half second back, catching up to Ricardo. Get into hard braking, into a nice, easy left hand up the hill. Great race by these two drivers.
I'm really interested in what Greg's strategy is. He's staying away from the toe on the straight. So he's just following his teammate, but staying with him. He's got the pace, certainly. So I feel like Greg is absolutely on point with this, and he's just racing with him. And he's waiting for, I would say, 2 laps to go before making his move.
Yeah, you know, he is just racing with him. That is very true. Yeah, 2 laps to go. Maybe if Ricardo makes a mistake.
Well, definitely, if Ricardo makes a mistake.
I'm hoping for coming to checkered side by side. That's what I'm going for. That's what's gonna happen.
You know, the showman in me wants to see that happen, and let me tell you, I really, really want to see that. And these guys are within 8 laps to go, so they can't be using DRS on this front straight or the second straight. But the front straight, it's a bit bigger than the secondary straight. But the secondary straight has a much more payoff heading into that break zone. 149.998 for Ricardo. And Greg, just a bit slower that lap. but they can be using DRS on every lap now.
Yeah, I'd also like to be able to hear your voice for the rest of the race too. That's another thing I would like to have, but
The
can't have
calm before
everything.
the storm. The calm before the storm. And for those of you new to Apex Racing TV, we do a lot more than Formula 3.5s on Saturdays. We also got the ARA VRS F3 series at 00 GMT coming up next here on
Yeah,
Apex Racing TV.
that's a fun race to watch. I watched it last week, and that was just phenomenal racing.
Yeah, the F3 car compared to the F3.5 car is, well, she's just absolutely beautiful to drive, but there's just something about that Formula 3 car that's just missing. And it's just that wailing engine as, oh no, Christian Motorola is off in turn 2. And he's one of our medium downforce runners. Actually, it looks like that's a low downforce. Be absolutely ridiculous. He was running with a low downforce right there, but you can just see on how unstable that rear end is. See what's spinning around. And we're looking at Paul Ilbrink. We really haven't seen much Paul Ilbrink today. He's up 2 spots, sitting in 3rd, currently on the podium, and well, oh, woo! He's going to be cursing me for even speaking his name, because apparently every time we go on board with somebody that hasn't been having any issues, I have commentators cursed. I know I did it to Josh Stewart the other day when I was just watching a stream. He didn't even know that I was watching, and then I just said sorry in chat, and he knew immediately what happened. And
Yep, and that's the connection. I went out for Paul Ilbrink. It's the unfortunate things you have here on iRacing, but his connection kind of got more stable. Back out.
but his rear end is that stable enough, because he's been struggling with it. And here's Baja and Gadamar. Gadamar in that medium downforce is going to be catching up to Paul Ilbrink. He saw that relative has dropped down. He sees them ahead. So Gadamar going to put the bit between his teeth and start charging.
Yeah, Gadamar wants that final spot on the podium, and Paul Ilbrink wants to make sure that's him. But, you know, I'm just really great racing. Another great strong run by Omar Baja, up 12 spots. I mean, it's hard to believe he's not your biggest mover, which is Mons, who's up 15. You'd think you get positive 12 spots, you're going to be up there. But great run for Omar. He's kept the car pretty, commentators curse clean so far.
Well, apparently when you say something about somebody's car, it doesn't matter. Whenever I say something positive, it absolutely destroys the race.
Yeah,
First
but the
round
positive thing is, you got positive sim racing up front.
Hey.
What a run by those two. Just, you know, Tim not feeling the best right now.
It's absolutely clean racing, and it's very beautiful to watch. As Gadamar and Baja still going at each other. And Omar, very bad Monza last week. So he's looking for a great result. He's up in top 5, up 6 spots from where he qualified. So I think he'd be happy with a top 5 right here, but I think he would be even happier in 4th.
Yeah, Monza was last week was yeah, that was a rough race for a lot of people, you know.
Rough race for the camera crew. Rough race for Baja, who, yeah, especially Baja. He went flying up at the start. Unfortunately, was hit at the start, and it was a spectacular crash. I must say that, but very, 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 very unfortunate for him. And
yeah, but what is fortunate for him? 5th?
I'm sorry?
So what's fortunate for him is he's up in 5th right now.
Oh, yeah. He's up in 5th, and I think we're about to see Greg Olson light the fire and kick the tires, because we're in that sweet spot, and I think we just got the Greg, it's James call. Go faster. And they're coming up to lap traffic.
Yeah, slow car could get in the way.
some multi-43 jokes in chat right now. Ricardo, the 4 car, Greg, the 3 car. And I think it'd be a multi-34 if it is going by Red Bull standards. But hey, maybe some reverse psychology happening right now. Don't want other teams listening on the radios and decoding it. And, well, if it was a multi-43, it's absolutely happened right now. Ricardo, 149.422.
And then the lap time for Olsen, his quickest lap of the day, too.
Yeah, 149.47. So they're on each other's heels right now with 3 laps to go here at Road America.
I like the way you say Road America. Just really such a great track.
You like the way I say Road America?
Yeah, you really get after it.
Road America.
And careful there, you might lose your voice.
I'm gonna wait for just the overpronunciation of track names now.
Yeah.
And Ricardo, ooh, bit deep in the brakes. I think he's starting to get a little bit of effect of the dirty air from that slower car up in front of him. That's Cedric Bill ahead of him.
Yeah, slow car. Slow car might get in the way.
He's not slow. Cedric is not slow at all. He's just had a very unfortunate race.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his lap times are 3 seconds slower, but
yeah,
it's still an entire second faster than me.
Yeah. For the time being, he is unfortunately the slow car. Taking a look at Suelio.
Suelio's just been having a rough day, and braking points not working with him. It goes wide into the braking zone of turn 3. Donovan Gadamar, that medium downforce. Now, at this point, the medium downforce car is going to be very twitchy on exit and entry, and especially in these medium turns. So, Donovan Gadamar under attack, but he's got that DRS open right now, as well as Omar Baja. And here's Pisco and Bernson. And, ooh, Pisco holding down that NC line, but Daniel went wide. But look at this run that Daniel has right now. DRS wide open for Daniel. And he's got the position by the start-finish line. 2 laps to go here at Road America.
Last lap for both Ricardo and Olsen, both their quickest times of the day.
Back up front with Ricardo, and he's starting to pull away from Greg Olsen right behind as they got past Cedric Bill right there. So a little bit of held up from that laps car, but it's clean air running right now. And Greg set the fastest lap of the race last time by, but I would say all that advantage he got, all 500s of there, has fallen away due to just that one lapped car. Back to Pisca and Bernson. Two laps to go when you're halfway through the lap. What is your strategy on overtaking going into some of these corners? Are you going to wait for the straight, or are you going to try to catch him off guard and do for something before the straight? Oh. And no! Greg! Greg's off! Heading into the final corner, Greg Olsen went a little bit wide through the kink and went off for an off-road rally adventure. And just tried to avoid that curb. Hits that curb and, ooh. Didn't even get on the throttle. A little bit on the brake to keep that car from messing up. And last lap, 149.21 for Ricardo in the lead. And now our closest battle on track is the battle for 4th between Omar Baja and Donovan Gadamar. We also have the battle for 8th place between Bernson and Pizzica. Bernson weaving down the front straight, trying to break the draft up Pizzica, but Pizzica is charging ahead. The draft is so strong in these cars that you gotta time your overtakes perfectly as they race into turn 1.
Yeah, this is the white flag lap. Whenever you have that opportunity to make the pass, the way these drivers are going, they're just going to go for it, and that's what I expect. A little wheel spin out.
Gadamar, that medium downforce car is going to be struggling right now because he does not have the speed that Omar Baja does through these corners coming up. Dominic Gadamar in crucial position right now because Omar Baja is licking his lips right now as they're heading through Bratwurst Corner and into the carousel. And I'm pretty sure all the cooks have stopped cooking bratwurst right now as they're watching this absolutely wonderful race because down the straight that they go. Baja in that draft, buried in that slipstream and onto his gearbox they go. Racing, nose to gearbox, heading into Canada corner. Gadamar, medium downforce, Omar Baja, high downforce. Gadamar defending onto the inside, Baja looking around to the outside. Baja looking for that switchback. Gadamar absolutely perfect through Canada corner right there. And speaking of absolutely perfect, it was a perfection of a race as Ricardo Orozco takes the win here at Road America. And Gadamar Baja drag racing down through the final corner. Gadamar, that medium downforce, he's going to have the top speed. And Gadamar, medium downforce, is going to take fourth. And Omar Baja finishes in fifth.
What a great job of defense there by Gadamar. I mean, he had to really drive very defensive to maintain that fourth spot and a phenomenal run.
It was a gamble that paid off. He paid off so well with that medium downforce. They usually struggle in the mid part of this track where the turns come into play, but that medium downforce definitely helped him on the straight to defend from Omar Baja. And I think we're getting a little bit of salute from Ricardo and Greg right now.
Yeah, good run by those two drivers. I mean, they were the class of the field today.
Now just imagine if Tim was here. I think we would have seen a 1-2-3. This is Phil Reed finishing in 13th. Christian Orterola up 7 spots. He's going to finish his race in 14th. Jorge Lopez Zito, he was involved in that opening lap incident. He's down in 15th. And here's Greg Olson. Staying in second all this race, but all eyes are on Ricardo Orozco. And perfection that was the perfect race for him. No mistakes that we could have seen. That fastest lap after fastest lap for him. But it was a very close race between the two teammates as he takes the win here today. Here are our results. I'm going to let Avery take it because my throat is dead.
Yeah, your voice is not the greatest. But who was the greatest today? It was Ricardo taking home the win, but followed by Olsen, Ilbrink, Gadamar, and Omar Baja rounding out the top 5. Fabio DeCarmo 6th, Mons 7th, Daniel Berenson, Pizzica, great run. John McCutcheon, Theodore Burns, Swellio, Phil Reed, Christian, Jorge Lopez, Cedric Bill, Emil Bernstoff, Flavio, Dan Gang, and Robert Tarleton rounding out the top 20. And the final 21, Eddie Samborski, Renee, and James J. Pinkster. Oh, JJ Power had a rough race today, but what a fantastic race, Austin. I know the first couple laps were a lot of carnage, but when the race came to about 5 laps in, the battles were on.
Yeah, the battle certainly heated up, but it was pretty much already heated up from the start all the way to the finish. And I believe we are standing by with our race winner, ladies and gentlemen, Ricardo Orozco.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much. Absolutely fantastic race for you. How was that race, and how are you feeling?
Pretty happy with the result. I mean, it's been only 2 weeks that I got back to open wheels, so it's been quite a while. I stopped way back when we were doing the MP430, which is about to come back, by the way. But then I went to do some prototype, and yeah, kind of got tired of that and wanted some open wheel action. So I'm happy to be back. And the race went fine. I mean, of course, I had Greg behind, which made it easy, and we both were on HDF packages because when you mix MDF with HDF, can be a little bit of a mess. I kind of feel like the draft right now is a bit confusing on this car. That's too powerful, but yeah, overall pretty happy with the result.
Yeah, you mentioned HDF versus MDF. We saw a few drivers trying for that MDF. I know Suelo was the top MDF runner at the start of this race. Did you guys have any strategy concerning the MDF cars behind you in case they were able to stay with you?
Of course, at the start, we combined to use the DRS as much as we can to try to break the draft, and it made it a little bit easier because if Suelia was the highest guy on the MDF, he started a little bit back, so it wasn't an immediate threat. But and then from there on, I think Suelia was a little bit behind, so he couldn't really threaten us. And then we just played as we have combined to do, and it worked out at the end.
All right, well, it's a fantastic race. Positive Sim Racing 1-2. Unfortunately, Tim wasn't with y'all today because he's feeling a little bit under the weather. Any message, wishes you want to send to Tim?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this result wouldn't be without him, and it's much easier when you start with a car and you have some great teammates and a great background. And these guys, they have been doing quite well in the series for quite some time. So, yeah, I know Tim's gonna get through this quite quickly, and he'll be ready for the next round, and gonna make it a little bit tougher for all of us.
All right, well, congrats on the win. Before we let you go, you kind of already did it, but anyone you want to thank?
No, just the teammates, Javier, the team boss. Yeah, thanks for you guys for making this the broadcast, and yeah, thank you guys. See you next time.
All right, man. Ricardo, you have yourself a great day, and we're on to Avery with Greg Olson.
We have Greg Olson with us here, finished second place on the podium. Greg, how was the race from your point of view?
It was a very simple race. It was all about the start, really. Ricardo and I had to get away from the pack, especially Suelio. We were wary of him running medium downforce. If he got in front of us, it would have been all over at that point. So, yeah, it was just a matter of getting away on the first lap. Luckily, we did, and then I just sort of settled in behind Ricardo and just basically stayed within his slipstream because it's really difficult to break the slipstream around here, and just cruised around to second. It was pretty simple.
Yeah, you were cruising around and you got kind of close to him. My one question is, what kind of happened going into the final turn with a couple laps to go going into the grass?
Yeah, I just sort of lost concentration because I hadn't really been pushing at all for the first 3/4 of the race, so I just sort of was pushing a bit too hard, and I could tell that Ricardo was trying to break the slipstream pretty hard. But I wasn't really planning on trying to overtake him at any point, because if I did, he would have just passed me straight back. So had no intention to fight him really, because the slipstream's just way too strong. And but it was a little bit of a game of cat and mouse going on throughout the race to try and break the slipstream. My plan was to save up all my DRS for the last lap and then try and get him at the finish line. But you saw I made the mistakes and all that, but that's okay. I'm very happy with second.
Yeah, mistakes happen, but nice. Congrats on the podium. Before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just like to thank Positive Sim Racing and my teammates. Shout out to Tim. He really loves Road America, but he's been terribly sick this week, so I hope he gets well soon. And you guys, as always, for the broadcast.
That's Greg Olson, second place. Here at Road America. I'm going to bring up Paul Ilbrink. Hey, Paul, congratulations on another podium finish. How was the race from your point of view?
Quite boring after the first half lap. Yeah, like I was hoping for Suelio to drive me around the track to the front and then take the win in the end or something. But yeah, he kind of ran off the track, so I was on my own from that point, and I tried to hunt Greg down, but I had to push so hard and I could kind of match their pace at first, but like towards the end I made a couple more mistakes and I dropped further back, and yeah, it was nothing more in it for me than third place today.
Yeah, once you kind of got set in third, it was you stayed there, but podium finish here after a lot of carnage on lap one. Got to be kind of happy about that. Before we let you go, anybody like to thank?
Sure, I want to thank my teammates at Radicals Online and our partners and sponsors: Armor Center, Cranfield Simulation, Track Racer, Joe Real Timing, Turn Racing, MOATF Podcast, Six Sideways, Pixel Dust, and you guys for doing a nice broadcast.
Awesome job, Paul. We'll hopefully see you next week.
All right.
As Paul Ilbrink finishing up the podium. What a fantastic race here we had at Road America. Had a lot of carnage. but had a lot of great battles. We had battles for 6, battles for the top 5. I mean, everybody was racing super hard here at Road America. But I was just real excited for a great race, Austin. Any last words from you?
Well, it was an absolutely fantastic race here at Road America. Next week, we're going to be going into week 11, which usually will be the penultimate lap, but in this 13-week season, it's just 3 more fantastic races left here in the Formula 3.5 Challenge season. We're going to be at Phillip Island next week, and it's going to be an absolute lovely race it will be. I've been joined by Avery McDonald. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on Apex Racing TV in the YouTube chat. We hope to see you all next week, or if we hope to see y'all in a little bit for the ARA F3 series coming up just right now. So thank you everyone for watching. I've been joined by Avery McDonald, Marco Barbonera, I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a great night.